present time when I saw the hill where they came down and they were going up and they were going to, Israel was going to be wiped out, and God showed the enemy angels, massive, huge angels, and they ran in fear and they won. That's present time. But I saw all of it during the song. It was everything. It was so powerful. And we were so, it was heaven. If church services were like this, there wouldn't be anybody in our nation unsaved.
Okay. Well, I felt like, here's what I felt when she said that. I said, can't you feel it? I felt like it was going to explode. I felt like the alabaster box had opened. Yeah. And there was perfume and oil and incense going everywhere. Did you feel it? I thought, oh Lord, just loosen everything in me. Pour more oil on. And I thought, there's more to come. There's so much more to come. And I'm even seeing now, I'm seeing this beautiful, it's like a bridal table, sit before us. And you know they have the little napkins, usually they're cloth, and they put them in little rings. Well, these were real rings that you put on your fingers with all these different colored stones in them. The napkins were. Woo. You remember when it was a napkin in the tomb? The Eastern culture is, if you see the napkin folded, it means he's not coming back there. But the napkin was in the holder; it was to be used. Remember in the tomb it said it was a napkin there, a piece of linen cloth. Okay, when I felt something explode in me, and I thought, if I could go through this roof right now, I felt I could have just left this place, and I didn't want to come back at all, because he says, "Taste and see." And the church hasn't really tasted of the Lord. You know, honey is very rich. You can't eat so much of it. It will make you sick. If you eat a lot of honey, it will make you sick because it's so rich. And so that's why he says, when you eat of the word, it's in your mouth sweet, but when it gets in your belly, it almost makes you sick. Because it starts to work on all those things that need to come to order. Amen? So you can only take so much. Rodney Howard Brown said he thought he was going to die when he asked the Lord to come down and touch him. He said, "Lord, stop, you're killing me." He was being honest. He said, "I can't take it anymore." It was like fire coming all over his body. But we can say it fire or like honey or like incense. But it was a moment there, I thought, I want to jump right up in the air and keep on going right through the ceiling. It was so rich. Oh my. Richard, thank you for following the Spirit.
Well, these are the days where the Lord is pouring out His Spirit upon our flesh.
Yes. But we have to, but here's the thing. The glory is always here. The glory is always here.
He's omnipresent.
Yeah, it's here all the time. But you have to find out where it is. We can't, if you go to England and say, well, I'm going to go up the back stairway of the palace and just go in the back door and see the Queen. Well, she doesn't take those kind of entrances. And God wants us to lay down the red carpet for Him to come in. He wants a greater worship, a greater love.
So I asked the Lord once, what do you mean when you say, where two or more are gathered, there am I in the midst, when you're already omnipresent? So I said to the Lord, since you're already omnipresent, what do you mean coming into the midst? And that's when He's coming out of the supernatural into the natural. And He wants us to see Him and taste Him and feel Him, because He's tangible.
Well, He wants us to be one, everybody moving toward the Lord. And don't be thinking, well, I need to have the Lord. I need prayer after all this, when He's already been here to take care of everything. You see, it's what you're doing is you're almost destroying what He's already done good. You understand what the glory is about? He's doing it while you're worshiping Him. You don't have to ask Him anymore for it, because your worship has pleased Him. Remember the girl that danced for, was it, not Philip. Was it Herod is so Philip's wife? Which one was it?
Yeah.
And he said to the daughter, he said, she danced and pleased him, yes. To such a measure, he said, I'll give you up to half of my kingdom. It's freshness. Did you know when it first comes, it's fresh? It's stale after that. Think about that, what I just said to you. Women, the first time you wear a brand new dress, you just think you're the most beautiful person in the world. Then after one time, it's not new anymore. Am I speaking right or not? Pastor Maiden said that. He said, you think you don't have anything to wear because it's not new. But see, his mercies are new every day. So we see another facet of him every time we come into his presence. I mean, when our sister Sharon said, she was just seeing it, what Jerusalem is all about, what it's done to the whole world. Everything. She saw it from the beginning to the end. And he said if they don't come and honor him during the millennium, he will curse the nations during the millennium. He'll curse them. And he said especially to Egypt. Well, Egypt could be a type of a Gentile world. But it's just loving him. And you get into that rhythm. You see, it's like you get on a train, and once it starts, honey, you can't get off. It'll be a terrible accident. But it's moving, so you move with that rhythm and that movement. And I felt it. In other words, it comes into harmony of the heartbeat of God, and you're giving him what he wants. Wouldn't you wish all your children were like that? Wouldn't you? Come on, say amen around.
Amen.
Did everybody get one of these flyers that wanted one? I have a few more. Everybody get one? All right,